Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. Last week I asked you guys if you had any questions to ask me, because it's been months and months since we've done a Q&A, and you had a ton. I wrote them all down here on my little YouTube notebook, so let's just jump right into it. First question, or first two questions actually, come from my friend Rosita Vila, and she said, do you rather follow your heart or your head? I am definitely a follow your heart kind of girl. As I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten better at looking at things from my heart and my head, and then trying to combine the two and make the best decision or do the best thing with it. But my instinct is definitely to follow my heart. She also wondered, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And that's a tough one, but I'm gonna say pizza. And I won't say what kind of pizza, because if it's just pizza, then you can make it different every day with toppings. Next up, Sharon Wise asked, do you write full time? I do. I don't have a job outside of the house. I've got my daughter, and I write, and of course make YouTube videos. I do some freelance writing work, and then I also work daily on fiction that I'm writing. Cheryl and family said, you love reading, but if books didn't exist, what would you see yourself doing instead? Cheryl, what kind of world are you imagining? That's a great question though. I don't know. I love reading, but I do other things as well, so I'd probably just do more of those other things, like, watch Netflix or go outside more, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's a good question. Kitty Cat Loves Makeup says, what time period would you live in if you could time travel? That's also a great question. I love, and see, when I was a young girl, I often just was forlorn at having been born in this time period. And I thought I'd really love living in like the 1800s. That was really the time that I was really infatuated with. But I'd want to be a wealthy family in the 1800s, not a poor one. And but when it comes down to it, especially if we were taken from here and traveled back into time, you'd miss things like antibiotics. So of course, when I was little, I didn't think of things like that. But yes, if I could be a wealthy family, or part of a wealthy family in the 1800s, that sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty fun. Kimmy Unlimited said, do you believe there are aliens out there or walking among us? Good question. Walking among us? I don't know, maybe. But I definitely think that there is life on other planets. Because how could there not be? There's so many planets in so many galaxies. Like, how could there not be life out there? And who's not to say that on one of those planets in one of those galaxies that there's like an alternate dimension where we're all there, like other versions of ourselves are there, living completely different lives because of different choices we made. Who knows? And she also asked, would you or have you been to a fortune teller? I have, not in a very long time, but when I was, I think in my early 20s, I went to a psychic at like a carnival, and that was fun. Oh, and then actually probably about 6 or 7 years ago, there was a psychic fair in the city I lived in Ontario, and I went to one there too. Mommy Life wondered, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Honestly, my biggest thing is I would love to live by an ocean. I grew up living next to the ocean, and now I'm out in the prairies, which is like as far away from the ocean as you can get. So I'd love to move back home to the the East Coast of Canada, but really any coast would do. Any coast, anywhere. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna say your name wrong. Manuel Lo Angel, I'm sorry. Do you have children? If so, how do you manage them with your YouTube work? I do. I have one daughter, And she's almost 13, so there's not too much to manage there. She's, you know, she's in school all day, and then when she's home from school, she's outside playing with her friends, and then, so there's plenty of time where I can sit and film and edit and things like that. Je suis moi, my dear friend, asked, this is a good one. You're invited on a mystery vacation. You only have 5 minutes to pack. Only 5 items plus 1 outfit. What do you pack? Girl. Mystery vacation, how long are we going, Andrea? Okay, for an outfit, I pick something simple. I'm assuming since it's summer, it's going to be warm. So I probably pick something like a nice sort of summery, maybe floral skirt, and then like a simple top, like maybe a white tank top and a floral skirt or something like that. Something that's summery, and you can dress up or down depending on the time of day, since we only have 1 outfit. 5 items, I would take my camera and my phone, for sure. I would take a book, and then I would take a lipstick and a mascara. So, what was that? Camera, phone, book, lipstick, mascara. There we go. Great question. Okay, Unique Mystery said, how would you describe yourself? How would I describe myself? I would say that I am a kind-hearted and funny and compassionate. We'll go with that. How tall? I am 5'8". What's your favorite thing about being married? Well, my husband is my absolute best friend. Like, to the point where we often say, like, if anything ever happened and, you know, we ended up divorcing, which, you know, hopefully that won't happen, but if it did, like, I cannot imagine still not being best friends with him. And he says the same. So it's just, my favorite thing about being married is getting to spend my whole life with my best friend. So this sounds cheesy, I know, but it's true. Lilibeth's channel said, how many mugs do you have? Let's go and find out. This many. Penny Cockrell asks, favorite coffee and or tea? Do you mean like brand of coffee? I love Tim Hortons coffee. Either going to get one or also picking up, because you can buy their coffee, their ground coffee, to make it home, or their K-Cups. So I love Tim's. I also love Nabob. Just simple. I'm simple when it comes to coffee. And tea, it's hard to pick a favorite tea. But I think I'm going to go with Dandelion Root. As much as I complain about how it tastes whenever I do a tea talk, I drink it every day, and I think it does good things for me. So, by default, it's become my fave. Misha M says, what's your favorite makeup brand, and how did you grow your YouTube channel? My favorite makeup brand overall, I think, is Tarte. I think they make really good quality products, and with not too many harsh ingredients. So, Tarte for sure. How did you grow your YouTube channel? What I did was, I just became as active as possible. I post 3 times a week. That seems to be a good amount of time from my experience to keep people interested. Whenever anybody comments, I make sure to respond to every single comment, so that you know, I'm kind of building a friendship and a conversation with people. And I also watch other people's videos and I comment on them, so that we kind of got a back and forth going. And that just kind of organically makes it happen. If somebody comments on my video that they'd like me to subscribe to their channel, and they've subscribed to mine, I will, and I will watch their videos. And if I see somebody that I really like their content, I'll subscribe and just start commenting, and that usually brings them my way as well. So yeah. And the color green said, asked, if you had to run off to a desert island and you could only take 1 tea, 1 lipstick, 1 polish, what would they be? Let me think. For the tea, we're going with the dandelion root tea by Traditional Medicinals. Yes. One lipstick. That's a tough one. I think I'd go with a red because it's my favorite to wear. And my current favorite red is from Burt's Bees, and it's called Scarlet Soaked. And it's just this perfect, true red. It's so vibrant. It's so gorgeous. And I feel like it looks good on me. And when I have it on, I feel good. So definitely that. And what polish? That's a rough one. Again, like how long are we gone? How long am I on this island? A polish, I'd probably just take, probably something glittery. I'm gonna go with Mermaid Tail by Sally Hansen, especially because I'm in the summer sort of mood. And it's just the perfect sort of beachy, summery, fun, glitter sparkle polish. Maz Live Well Vlogs. What decaffeinated tea is good before bedtime? There are a couple brands that make sleepy time tea. Yogi Tea makes one, and it's really good. Basically, if you go and sort of look at the teas, anything that has sleep or sleepy time in the name will be decaffeinated, and it's just got really nice ingredients that are very calming, and the Yogi one is delicious. Jenny Nunley asked, how many books do you own? I'm looking at some of them now. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to count. Hundreds and hundreds. I have many bookshelves filled. Books are my thing. I never get rid of them. And I like the aesthetic. So not only do I read them, I love how they look. I love how a room looks when it's filled with bookshelves, and those shelves are filled with books. So I have many. Karen Maria said, what do you do when you're stressed or worried to get to a calm place? What I do, if I have time, if it's something where there's like a lot of time, I'll take a bath in the quiet, and I'll just soak and breathe and try to relax. If it's something where I don't have a lot of time and I want to be calm now, I will just sit and I'll just breathe. And it sounds silly, like how can that help? But it really just does. To just give yourself that time to detach from everybody. When you got kids and family members and they all need and want something, just go off, close the door, and just breathe. And it takes me to a space that's very calming, and then I'm better equipped to deal with whatever was stressing me out in the first place. Love My Mommy Life said, when did you start having a thing for reading? What motivated you to continue to do so? I've had a thing for reading since I could read. I can remember being very young and reading a ton. I think I was probably 9 or 10 when I started getting into the Babysitters Club series back in the late 80s. I loved those. I could plow through those in a minute. I became very close friends with the elderly woman who worked at the library in the town where I grew up, because she saw me so often, and so we'd have these wonderful conversations, me just this little kid, she this older woman, and she was just the sweetest. And it got to the point where she got to know my tastes, and if she was going through the book and she saw something she thought I'd like, she'd put it to the side, and when it came in, she'd be excited to show them to me. And that just helped it grow, and I was always a quick but efficient reader, and that even I can remember one time having a teacher in school who she gave us this thing to read, and I quickly read it, and when I went to tell her I was done, she made me go back and reread it because she thought I was lying to her about being done. I remember being so embarrassed and so hurt that she did that. But yeah, I've been reading and loving it since I learned how to read, and I haven't really needed anything to motivate me to continue it because it's just been a lifelong thing. So there you have it. If I missed your question, you're going to have to forgive me because I went through and I grabbed all the ones I could see, and I hope I got them all. If not, I'll get it next time. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I will see you guys on Friday with another book talk video. Bye guys!